Wow. Game changer. Game changer. Because guess what? When he's listening and he's hearing and he's writing his to-do list, I'm going to look up and say, yo, for real. Because a lot of people stress over the things that they have on the to-do list that they don't get accomplished today, and they get frustrated and they get disappointed in themselves, and they don't give themselves grace because they
Yeah.
figure that everything can be done today, and it can't be.
No, no, no. Everything don't have to get done on the to-do list. The
Mm-hmm.
key thing is that you need to get some things sticky off for
Mm-hmm.
today. And if you can get all things done for today, great. But if some things are left, tomorrow, whatever left on the to-do list, you start the day with those things that didn't get accomplished the previous day.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Entrepreneurial Truth. Today, on our episode, we have Coach Donavon DC, and he is going to be sharing his story. He's going to be ripping and running and telling us all about what he's been doing and how he's been accomplishing everything in his genre. Um, Donovan, do you want me to call you Coach Donovan or Donovan on today's podcast?
Ah, you can say Coach Donavon DC. It doesn't really matter to me. Or
Okay, all right, perfect. Well,
cool, yeah.
Coach Donovan, I want you to jump right in and I want you to share with our audience your story of how you fell into this entrepreneurial journey and what that looks like to you. Now, you can start at the beginning from authoring your books, um, diving into like how that even came about.
Uh, Honestly, I think it has started for me when I was going to high school. I remember when I was going to high school, I used to sell sweets. They call it melon sweetie. So it's the top of the sweetie shaped like a melon, and it was the thing back then when I was going to high school. So I used to sell that as a way of helping my mom, help to take care of some bills or support, or don't pressure my mom. So I find that as a hustling going to school. So I think it started that way, doing that. And also before that, my grandma back home in the Caribbean, Jamaica, um my grandma did have a restaurant, and I was the one who usually like take food to the customer and go back to the customer. Sometimes I get pay up front, and sometimes I have to go back. Yeah, in the Caribbean, go back to the customer, these loyal customer, like in the evening, and to collect the money. So I think that's where it started for me without me knowing. But now getting older, I feel the passion, the urge to be an entrepreneur where I am serving people through products that I create, and through service, because I am a gospel recording artist too while being an entrepreneur. So I create music and I go to concert events, whatever it is, and that's a service also I'm offering as a music artist. So I think it start back there in the 1990s.
I said not to age yourself, not to age yourself.
Yeah.
So, you know, being an entrepreneur means wearing several hats, right? Being all the different things in your business,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you were to give someone some advice,
Mm-hmm.
right, as it relates to what that looks like, right, and how to approach it, what kind of advice would you be giving them?
That's a very good question. Um, I would say definitely to anyone who desire to be a full-time entrepreneur, first, it is a mindset. It is a decision that um, you have to make and be intentional about it. And
Mhm.
it and be intentional about it. It requires you have to put in the works to get the results. And I
Mm.
repeat that you have to put in the works to get the results. So if you're not putting the works, you cannot get the results.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I've discovered too, go into this zone of being entrepreneur. An entrepreneur go the extra miles that a 9 to 5 worker don't do,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because entrepreneur create their own schedule, do their own thing. 9 to 5, you have to go by the company or the business rules and their schedule.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let's talk about that a little bit more too, right? So being an entrepreneur also means that you have no framework, you have no system to follow, right? So essentially, you are now an artist because you are creating it as you go along,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Unless
yeah,
unless you have someone that's mentoring you, or
yeah,
you taken on a franchise, right? But
yeah.
essentially, even let's say, for example, in writing a book,
Hmm.
right? There isn't really a recipe per se for everyone, because everybody isn't going to write it the same way or do it the
Yeah,
same way. you
yeah.
know how did you find that in doing, like, how did you find writing the book? Like, what was that process like?
That's a good question. For me, um, I never see myself being an author. When I was dating my girlfriend, now my wife, but then I see her being the author because she have the gift of like expounding words. So um I used to be on the phone with her crazy hours at night, helping her doing her assignment for her master program, because my wife is a psychotherapy, so she was doing her master's in psychotherapy at the time. And I discovered, like, for example, like she have an assignment, and the assignment require 300 words. And I help her to brainstorm on what that assignment entails. And my wife reached like 700, 800 words. And I'm like, your assignment requires 300 words. And if you go beyond 300, that's a strong possibility you can be marked down for that. And that's where I discovered that she have that gift of like expounding with and so forth. And I said to her, I think that you should write a book. And she said, no, I don't have time for that. And I give her some time and come back again at her and said, um, can both of us write the book? She said, no, you alone going to write that book. Mm.
Wow.
I push, I push still, and I start do the sketch out, the rough sketching of the book, and I go to her and said, I start sketching out and so forth. And she said, you're really determined. And that's how she come in after my third try, by me taking that step. And
Wow.
and remember, we were dating, we didn't marry at that time, and 5 years after, that book comes to reality.
Wow. So it was a labor of love.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, tell our listeners about the book, a little bit about the book and what the book is about.
Okay, so the book, it's a motivational book. Let me just stretch for it because it's right beside me. Just a minute. Yeah, this is the book. Purple book here.
Wow.
Yeah. So it
Nice.
is on Amazon. It is called Our Life's Journey.
Awesome.
A book by Donovan and Samantha Campbell.
The past, the present, the future.
Yeah, yeah. So this book, it's a multi-purpose motivational book. In it, we share our personal story, our personal background, where we're from, how what is like, and we share what marriage is all about. I like quotes. So there's a section there where I have called positive mindset quotes, and there's a section for youth empowerment. I love to empower youth and to, inspire young people. And it's a section there also where poetry is concerned. I write poetry and my wife write poetry. So we put both of us skill together and put it into it. And it's an easy book. It's an easy book. It's just a 10 chapter book, 10 chapter book. This is the back of the book right here.
Love it. Love
Yeah,
it.
each of us. Yeah, our life's journey.
I love it. A
Motivational book.
Caribbean motivational author.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
Authors, love it.
yeah.
Love it.
So that's it where that book comes in place. And after I written my first book with my wife, I move on to start create my own books on my own. And also my wife also published a book Sincere on her own too, regarding to mental health, because I said before she's a psychotherapist, so she put her experience and something how to help persons how to deal with mental health and so forth.
Mm-hmm. 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 Now I'm gonna dive into it, right? So you guys worked on the book. You
Mhm.
put the book together. It was a process of 5 years, right?
shouldn't
Now,
shouldn't be so long.
well, you know what I'm. Here's the thing: whether or not it takes 2 days or 5 years, it's still a product that a lot of people don't get to the end. They write it and the manuscript sits down forever. And some people never publish their books, you know? They never get to the next step. The fact that you got from point A to point B is amazing.
Mhm.
Can you tell our listeners, how easy it was, what you did different, and what would you do now when writing other books?
Oh, for sure. The first book that I wrote with my wife, it makes a process easy for me to create a book or a course, because also, I'm a course
Coach,
creator, you
right.
know. So the first thing is that you just want to have an idea of what you want the book to be. So start. Sometimes it may work and sometimes it may not work, but have the the outcome or the final work of the book in mind while starting.
Wow. Okay. I love
So
that.
in other words, for me, the key thing for me is the content. How much content do I want to put in? So, like for example, the book is a 10 chapter book.
Mm-hmm.
How many chapters? So I I focus on the content right there. And from my focus on the content, everything else fall in place. The introduction, the acknowledgement, all of that will be easy. But the content right there is the main part for me. And once I get that clear, everything else flow after.
Wow. And I know we never really dived in before. Can you just let our listeners know exactly what it is that you do, who you are?
Okay, so for me, where the coaching aspect concern, as I said before, I'm a creativity and a life coach. So where creativity aspect concern is that I coach persons around songwriting. Um, I coach persons around talent development and growth. Um, I also help persons to become an author too. And I help persons to create an online course. That's where creativity aspect is concerned. Where the life coaching aspect is that I focus on time management, personal development, and growth.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So, in the songwriting process, right? So, let's say, for example, a listener out there wants to develop music, they would just contact you. How would they contact you? They would just email you.
Um, well, persons can go to my website. And by my website, my information is there. My social media link is there. They can take it from that end, and by they going to my website, they will see my products that I also have available for them. And Persons can reach out to me on Facebook, just as my name right there, Coach Donavon DC. They can find me by that name on Facebook and Instagram, Coach Donovan underscore DC. So same name for Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, I want to make sure that I ask everything that I think that our listeners would be asking, right?
Yeah.
So they're starting out on this journey. They're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give them some practical tips that they can apply? Like anything that you would recommend that they would apply to that process, in even thinking about an idea, they're working a job, they don't want to do it anymore. What are some practical tips that you would give them?
Okay. I would say first thing, a person must know what are they passionate about?
Mm-hmm.
What field are you going to enter into? As the word is known, niche.
Mm-hmm.
I would say field, but some person may use the fancy word niche,
Mm-hmm.
right? What are you passionate about? What you going to find fulfillment doing by helping people? Whether you're going to do it as a service, or you're going to create products, or you're going to create a program. What are
Mm-hmm.
you passionate about?
Mm-hmm.
So identify that and find ways and means how can you put that into a program or put it into a package where you're going to make an online course, they're going to make it be a product.
Mm-hmm.
And as I talk about that, being an entrepreneur, there are, I would say, there are three aspects of business. You have products, you have programs, you have service. Three.
Mm-hmm.
So, and all three are important, but which one are you going to take it? So you can take it one by one. Like for me, it started from me being an author. Actually, I say it started from being a music. So it started from me doing a service. And then it
Mm-hmm.
to me creating a book. And then from book to an online course and to a program. So there are levels
Mm-hmm.
that you have to take it step by step and master the levels.
Mm-hmm.
And just talking to you, I just realized that just a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? For me, being a songwriter for over 25 years and to be an author of two music books plus a online music course, you tell me which artists out there in the world that you know, and I'm humble about it and not boasting, which artists from any genre of music that you know is an
Mm-hmm.
author of two music book and an online music course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it showed that Coach Donovan DC, this guy have some values. This guy knows some things
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
these musicians not talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't want to dive her because that is deep. That is deep. They're gonna require. They're gonna require that will,
Wait,
that will,
Coach Donovan come to coach you today.
when it when it comes down to music creativity, that will take me the entire day talking about music creativity. That's my passion. That's my fire. As I said before, I
So,
mean that being an author of two music book and I've experienced over 25 years. Come on, that's a lot right there.
well, here's the thing. Let me stop you there, right?
Yeah.
Everybody listening, you hear what him say. 25 years of experience. He's the
Mhm.
coach. So if you want to know more, Coach Donovan is the way to go.
Yeah. So back to the question there, you said my advice to the entrepreneur. So identify the field, find out what the passion, what makes you happy, what you will stay up all day talking about or all day doing and
Mm-hmm.
still feel energized doing it. And I would say thirdly, always have a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Always have your to-do list, things that you want to do per day so you can be on track
Right.
and be ahead of things. Because the reality is that if if an entrepreneur don't schedule their day, the day goes to schedule them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for me personally, um I don't like to waste time.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I value time beyond money or over money,
Mm-hmm.
because it is time that we use to create money.
Mm-hmm.
We can't use money to create time.
Mm-hmm.
And and this is one of the things I would encourage persons to want to become a full-time entrepreneur, is that all you need is mindset and skill set. And once you master that and be intentional about it, the mindset and your skill set, what are you good at? What are you great at? And work it, it's going to work for you and your family and your friends in return.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that. I love that. And a lot of people ask the question, they're like, boy, how do I find what I'm good at? How do I? But I would say to that, look around you. Look and see what you're doing every day. And if you're doing that every day, that's what you're good at, right? If you're doing it in your spare time, if you're finding time for it, just look around. It don't have to be anything complex. Some
Mm-hmm,
people sit down and them while they're talking on the phone, they sit down and they doodle,
mm-hmm,
right? And they don't even know that there is a job for that.
mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Um, you know, it is something that is in my mind, in my heart, to make sure, and as I talk about schedule,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that I accomplish comes the first week of November. And it is something regarding to, I'm going to make it be a digital product too, because I'm into digital space, even though my book is also on Amazon. I'm into the digital space. Person can just click, have access straight ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm going to create, it's the first I'm telling,
Anyone?
so it is special on your program.
Awesome.
Definitely are going to create something regarding to talent. Talent.
Mm-hmm.
So anything can be a talent. As I said before,
Mm-hmm.
anything. You just
Mm-hmm.
want to identify it,
Mm-hmm.
develop it, and grow with it.
Mm-hmm. 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 And then again, the hardest part for people is identifying the talent. So
That's it.
uh, if you can help them identify talent, that is like a winner.
That's it.
Um, Now, okay, now let's say, for example, they've now identified the talent. How do they get from that point of being stuck? Well, I have this great idea.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get my idea out there, but I just don't know what to do to get it out there. What is the next step in that process?
Well, you're asking some key question, my friend. I don't want to stray away from that, but I think last night I was listening to a motivational video. I love motivation stuff. It inspires, motivates, it educates me, and I hope your audience and you yourself too love to motivational stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, the person was saying into the motivational video is that the cemetery is the wealthiest place in the world. Why? Is that so much people die with
Great
their
idea.
dreams. They die with their dreams, their great ideas and so forth, all up here. And they
Wow.
never they never put it to action. So the question that you ask, what do they do with the idea? First thing, and this is the same thing for me. One, get the idea from out of your brain and put it on
Mm-hmm.
paper. Because when you
Mm-hmm.
put it on paper, you will have more clarity of what the
Mm-hmm.
idea is.
Mm-hmm. They're taking notes.
And and The next step, wow, this is very deep. Well, I'm a coach, so definitely it's very deep because I'm practical. That's what I'm applying to my life, and that's what making me be productive in
Mm-hmm.
whatever I do and be effective in whatever I do. So so they take the idea from your mind and put it on paper to get clarity. Okay, it is on paper, just as you said. A lot of persons have their book manuscript, and that's where it stops.
Mm-hmm.
So have the idea on paper, you have the book manuscript on your device or on paper.
Mm-hmm.
The next step, the third step, is to put it in action
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
because you made a decision to, to take it out of your head to the paper or to your device. The next thing is that the last step, that's what that going to stands out, the action. What am I going to create? What am
Mm-hmm.
I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
How can I make this be uh, a product? How can I make this be a service? How can I make this be meaningful to other people?
Mm-hmm.
So it
Mm-hmm.
all goes back to the third step,
Mm-hmm.
the action part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's where people, I mean, in all stages of it, you're gonna have people that stop in all stages and don't see each one through. When
Mhm.
they get to the action part, I think a lot of people get stuck there because they don't know, okay, well, I'm taking action, but what does action mean? And then they waste a lot of time that they can't get back, and then they get frustrated.
Mhm.
What are some things that you would what are some things that you would recommend for them to be able to take effective action? Not just action, but
Mhm.
effective action.
That's a very good question. So, when it comes down to action, for me personally, especially when I'm working on a project, because I told you about something I'm going to create next month,
Right.
first thing is that I have to be intentional about
Mm-hmm.
what I'm doing. In other words, be 150% intentional about the action and be zero and distraction.
Mm. Okay. All right. Let's just start naming some of them. Put your phone away if you're not
That's,
using it.
that's
Mm-hmm.
one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Spending crazy hours on social media.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Two,
Unless it's research. And if it's research,
yeah, if it's
set a
research.
time.
Um, if a distraction is you staying and watching 10 series of
Mm-hmm.
whatever on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In other words, for 10 series, right there, probably you spend like a person spending like probably 5 hours watching
Mm-hmm.
10 series. When
Mm-hmm.
that 5 hours, you could be creating that stuff, actioning
Mm-hmm.
what you
Mm-hmm.
desire to action, what you desire to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think those things that we mentioned are some key things of
Mm-hmm.
distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
and to be honest, sometimes even spouses can be distraction too.
Mhm. No, it's true. People in your life, family, kids, I mean, those can be distractions. I mean, not saying not to spend time with them,
Mhm,
but you have
mhm,
to set
mhm.
time for action in your business.
Yeah. So as I said before, be 150%, be intentional,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
action, and zero and distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And as
Mm-hmm.
all where all goes back to a mindset. So if we don't decide that, decide it's not an
Mm-hmm.
option. It's already signed deal. Be an arrow. Have an
Mm-hmm.
arrow mindset. An arrow only go forward. I've never
Mm-hmm.
seen an arrow go backward.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing, right? And I tell a lot of people for this podcast, my intent and my mission is to make sure that our listeners are getting everything that they need to get, right? So I want them to be able to take action after they come off of this. So if there's a little Donovan out there, right? You many years ago, right? That needed some advice, right? So now him have him idea and him thinking about it, but maybe he's working his 9 to 5. What advice would you give him right now in this moment to get him from where he is to where he should be faster?
Definitely. Um, have that to-do list.
Mm.
That to-do list. Can't
Mm-hmm.
beat that.
Mm-hmm.
Have have the different things that you desire to do on your to-do list and take it step by step. Step by step. You may not get all the things sticky off on your to-do list today, but what you didn't get sticky off today, you can get that sticky off on next day.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, you're developing that it's a skill set of discipline.
Mm.
Discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
by you develop that discipline mindset, discipline attitude, and a disciplined way to execute your to-do list, nothing will be impossible.
Wow. Wow. Game changer. Game changer. Because guess what? When he's listening and he's hearing and he's writing his to-do list, I'm going to look up and say, yo, for real. Because a lot of people stress over the things that they have on the to-do list that they don't get accomplished today, and they get frustrated and
Mm-hmm.
they get disappointed in themselves and they don't give themselves grace
Mm-hmm.
because they
Yeah.
figure that everything can be done today and it can't be.
No, no, no. Everything don't have to get done on the to-do list. The
Mm-hmm.
key thing is that you need to get some things sticky off for
Mm-hmm.
today. And if you can get all things done for today, great. But if some things are left, tomorrow, whatever left on the to-do list, you start the day with those things that didn't get accomplished the previous day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then what is your take on people that are looking on social media and watching other people accomplish all these things and they feel like they're not moving as fast or they're not what is your take on that?
Well, it is good and it is, I would say it is bad too. And the reason why I would say it is good, start there. It is good to learn from these persons that are so progressive, so successful.
Mm-hmm.
Learn, learn from their story. Take some tips, some advice by you watching them, listen how they talk, see what mindset they have, heard their struggles, heard how they overcome their struggles, and
Mm-hmm.
how, and the next thing is that how can you apply that to your life
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
make your make your life be progressive too. So that's the good part.
Mm-hmm.
How can you take those tips and apply it to your life so that your life can be progressive? And in order for your person life to be progressive, it all goes back to action. That's the
Mm-hmm.
bottom line.
Mm-hmm. Action and discipline.
Discipline too. Discipline
Mm-hmm.
and action goes
Mm-hmm.
hand in. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
good part of it. The bad part about it is that where I see also a lot of people get caught up, they want to be like this person that is so successful. They're spending quality time following this person who they see as what they call it now, probably celebrity, as we say, this persons of great status and all of that, and big mansion and the
Mm-hmm.
latest car they can buy it and all of that. They are majoring in in just observing everything that that person's put on social media or everything that person do.
Mm-hmm.
They're majoring in that and not majoring what can they do for their life to be progressive and be
Mm-hmm.
successful.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that so it's a good and bad. And that's
Yeah.
what I've seen over and over. So, for example, some people have the mindset, and this is the bad part, is that if that high status celebrity person buy a new shoes, they want to buy that new shoes when they are struggling to put food on their table.
Mm-hmm.
If that
Mm-hmm.
person buy a new clothes, them going to
Mm-hmm.
they're going to buy a new clothes, just same clothes like what that celebrity have.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bad part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't realize that they have their own spark, that they have their own genius, that they have their own,
Mhm.
you don't have to watch nobody. You just do you, and you will be successful because there are people that want to see what you are doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I did if persons go on my Facebook page, they will see that I did a motivational video that says tell your story.
Mm-hmm.
Your story will be blessings to some people, it will be a motivation for some people, it will
Mm-hmm.
be inspiration for some people, it will be education for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Tell
Mm-hmm.
your authentic story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And
motivation. A
there's,
person on my Facebook page, they will see that
yeah,
motivation video.
and there's power in that, right? There's power in your own unique stories.
Exactly, exactly. Because all of these persons that of high status and be very successful, they have a story and they are telling their story
Mm-hmm. 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 And
and
how
make
easy.
and making by them telling their story and doing these things, they are making crazy millions, even billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
While some people just get caught up in just watching them, and they have a story too. We all do have a story. What are we
Mm-hmm.
doing with our story?
Mhm. Well, that was my next question to you, right? How easy was it for you at first to tell your story?
Um, I wouldn't say it was easy because I'm a person. If you know me a few years ago, talking about Coach Donavon DC, talking about this gospel artist, talking about this being in the public. It wasn't me. That's not my thing. I'll be in the background. I'm okay. I'm okay behind a person, cheer them on. I see. I know you can do it. Go, 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 go and
Mhm.
sing. Yes, I know you can preach. Go, go, go. I know you can do this and that. You're so gifted. Go, go, go. I'm like the cheerleader behind. Few
Mhm.
years ago, I'm not this person.
So, what helped you to get into that and be in the forefront?
Um, I I think it all started for me when I was in Jamaica. I was a part of a singing group of four males. They call it quartet. Yeah,
Mhm.
four males. So in that group, I was a part of that group for about 8 years or so, and I was like the spokesperson in the group. I was like the manager of the group and all of these things. And just being in the background, doing these things, reaching out to people, making some connection and so forth. So I think that's where it all started from me, and after the group is not um exit anymore, I think that's where I step into that another level of my life
Mhm. Mhm. So
where,
it kind of forced you to be in the forefront.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, as I said before, I was a spokesperson. What I mean, like spokesperson, when we go to like concerts, weddings, banquet, you name it. I mean, health fair or expo, I was the one who like do the talking to like get the people in the groove and to know about the group and all of that. So yeah.
Mhm. So it kind of forced you out there.
Yeah, yeah. That
let
was
me ask you, did you
my
see a difference? I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. Go
No, I was
ahead.
saying, did you see a difference between being in the background and being in the forefront in terms of how it has changed your life?
It has changed my life greatly, greatly, and I give God thanks for that. Um, uh, Sometimes I look at it as like, in the Bible, it talk about the talents where this one was hiding while the other persons go and action it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
this going to really hit the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hiding a few years ago, and when I stop hiding and start action my talents, that's where I see true development and true growth. And that's
Whoa.
what lead me to even right now being on your program,
Mm-hmm.
because I stopped being in the background and cheering on other people. It was good being in the background cheering other people because I still do that. But
Mm-hmm.
I didn't was the one who loved to be in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
because I've moved from just be in the back and step on the front and working my talents, my skill set that God has given unto me. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I
Wow.
mean,
Wow.
people reaching out to me on social media and want me to interview on their program, all sort of stuff. All because I stepped from out of being the background and stepped on the front line and actioning what God has given to me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it feels and it sounds like you step into your purpose.
Amen. Amen to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So definitely, yeah. It just it's just amazing when persons can identify their purpose
Mm-hmm.
and know how they're going to carry out their purpose and just action their purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Action
Yeah.
it.
And I feel like if you are in the background and you are shy or you're an introvert, there are ways that you can step into becoming
Mhm,
the best version of yourself
mhm,
by
mhm, mhm.
doing little things, taking
Yeah,
baby steps until
yeah,
you feel comfortable enough to,
yeah,
do the thing.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I agree with that because I love to apply nature to things that I do. And one of the things that I even look at myself comparing few years to now is that I see myself like uh say a mango seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um a mango seed grow in two ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the seed, you plant the seed in the ground, it stay right there and push out roots and all of that. And then it's a process for it to push out the roots and all of that before it start to go vertically, go up.
Mm-hmm.
So I see myself being in the background that yes, I was planted and my my roots start to sprung and all of that and all of that. So now I am going vertically, and this is why I am on your program because I'm going vertically
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I have my experience of being in the soil in the background,
Mm-hmm.
getting rooted and grounded, so I can grow to
Mm-hmm.
bear fruit, to bear forth
Mm-hmm.
fruits,
Mm-hmm.
and by bearing forth fruits
Mm-hmm.
can be can be benefit from the fruits that I am producing.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. I love it. No, I love it because it's so true. It's so true. It's so true.
So
Every action you take is progress towards the best version of yourself.
exactly, exactly. So, I'm really excited and humble about my journey and my experience because it helps me to be a better person. Helps me
Mm-hmm.
to be. And that's why I love to help people to be the best version of themselves,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I'm enjoying right now. This is the best version of me.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Can you tell our listeners what they can expect when they join your coaching program? Like when they come and join your coaching program, what can they expect from it?
Definitely, it is a process.
Mm-hmm.
As I relate to the mango seed, the man you a person don't plant a mango seed today and expect it to be a tree the following
Mm-hmm.
day and producing mangoes, ripe mangoes, ripe mangoes. No. So it's a process, and my approach is that even to my me being creative, creating books and whatever, it's a process. And once persons know that you're coming into a coaching program, first understand that it's not a quick thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a quick fix.
Before they don't plant the seed today and it become, it's a process.
Mm-hmm.
It's a process from A to Z. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way a person can just say A and Z. No, there's B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, go all the way up to Z.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Process. And no one can just count from 1 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Process. So
Mm-hmm.
person must know, even practical. When a person go into the kitchen, you don't just put the pot on the stove and put whatever you're cooking in the pot and it just cook within 1 minute.
They say unless a ramen them cooking.
No, it's a process for it to cook and
Mm-hmm.
and 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 properly done too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that same approach, I definitely tell my clients for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a process,
It's a
and
process. And what can they
I will walk them through process so they can get the lessons and the blessings while going through the process.
mm-hmm.
So going through the process, they will get lessons and blessings that going to be meaningful to their life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that if you are starting your entrepreneurial journey,
Mhm.
it is advisable to get mentorship and coaching along the
Mhm.
way, because if you are doing it with someone, right,
Mhm.
that has already been there, that knows
Mhm.
how to do it, right,
Mhm.
then you're not doing it alone, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I highly recommend it. And let me ask you too, right? For your specific coaching program, is it a hands-on coaching program? Is it a one-on-one coaching program, or is it something that they can just watch in their spare time? I know you're working on this new program, but for the future, for the
Mhm.
existing program you have now.
It's both. It's both.
Okay. Okay.
For those for persons, for example, the my first course that I create about the songwriting
Mm-hmm.
aspect. So that course, it's very deep, because that in that course there's two offers. There's a goal and there's a VIP. The
Mm-hmm.
VIP included a one-on-one coaching session with me. So
Okay.
they're going to get the benefits from that program with bonus. And if they go with the VIP, they will have a one-on-one coaching session with me. If they go with the regular goal, they also will get the benefits. But having extra with me one on one, that's a plus. So for me, I take it from different angles. I do
Mm-hmm.
one on one and I do group.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm open minded. As an entrepreneur, you have to be open minded doing business,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because even right now, um just this guy in Nigeria reached out to me and Facebook and said that it would be okay for you to come and to do a, a presentation of your songwriting things that you do. And I told him, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to educate his persons there in Nigeria on that.
Okay. So he wants you to go over to Nigeria and then do a seminar or course.
No, it's gonna be virtual.
Okay, it's gonna be okay, okay.
Yeah.
Their
So
virtual session.
he's the one who putting things together. So all I have to do is just come and just make a presentation regarding to whatever he asked me to do, which is songwriting aspect
Mm-hmm.
to his tribe. As some
I
person
love
would
it.
say.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And on your website or on Facebook, can they get or hear some of your music? Where can they find it?
Okay, persons can go to Brother DC, that's my music Facebook page, and persons can find me on YouTube there too as Brother DC Music.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything that else that you'd like to share with our listeners before we close out this program today?
For sure, for sure. My advice to your listeners out there all over the world is that know that there is more inside of you to produce out there.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, there's more to you out there, more to you than just for you to say that I'm just paying bills or working to pay bills. No, there's more to you that is inside of you for you to bring out that will be beneficial to people. It will be blessings to people.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Mm-hmm.
all goes back to persons have to just value themselves, see themselves valuable, and don't depend on other persons to value them.
Mm.
Value yourself.
Mm-hmm.
See yourself as a masterpiece in this world.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one like you. So
Mm-hmm.
value yourself, see yourself as the masterpiece, and just stand out as a masterpiece. That's my word of advice.
I love it. I love it. Coach Donavon BC, I love it. Thank you so much for coming on our program today. Thank you for the valuable insights, tips, everything. If you guys want to get his book is on Amazon, and I'll share all the links below so everyone can get it. If you want to look on YouTube, you'll see all the links to have access to it. I appreciate your time. Thanks again. Coach Donovan, love it.
Thank you for having me on your program, and it's just been a blessing just to be on your program, just to share so much insights and just just to share with you and your audience. So I truly hope that they will take some things and apply to their life as I do the same and as you do the same too.
Exactly. Exactly. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into today's episode of Entrepreneurial Truth. One tool that I can truly recommend on how you can organize and execute systems is Notion. Notion allows you to seamlessly get information out of your head and into a centralized, organized space. Whether it's documenting processes, managing projects, or brainstorming ideas, Notion can be your go-to platform. As a special offer to our listeners, you can get started with Notion using the link in the episode description. By using our affiliate link, you not only support our podcast, but also gain access to free templates designed to kickstart your journey with Notion. These templates are specifically crafted to help entrepreneurs streamline their workflows and boost productivity. To take advantage of this offer, simply visit the affiliate link below to sign up and explore the free templates available in the resource section. Whether you're a solopreneur, managing a team, Notion can be the game changer you've been looking for. Stay tuned for more episodes where we dive deep into strategies, tools that can empower you as an entrepreneur. And don't forget to subscribe to Entrepreneurial Truth so you never miss an episode filled with actionable advice and insights. Thank you once again for joining us today. Until next time, keep innovating and scaling your business with purpose. Thanks again.